Welcome to another video here on the MANIFACO channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a polyvinyl chloride hem. Check this out, I've already made this hem here. See, it's polyvinyl chloride. It's very similar to those Kydex sheets, and what's cool about this is that polyvinyl chloride is really cheap, right? Kydex, as you know, is not cheap at all, and sometimes we need to make a rigid sheath for a machete. So today I'm going to teach you how to make a really rigid sheath. It's like a Kydex sheath but made with polyvinyl chloride, which works too. So pay close attention to this video, because by the end I guarantee you'll know how to make a sheath like this. But first, man, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe, man. Click down here on the subscribe button. Oh, and turn on notifications too, because YouTube won't notify you if you don't activate notifications. So let's get to the materials. To make this sheath, we're going to need the machete, obviously. I'll explain the purpose of these foam pieces in a moment. You'll also need polyvinyl chloride, which you'll use to make the sheath, a small saw like this one, or a hacksaw. You'll also need some fabric. It can be an old piece of fabric. It should be an old fabric so you don't risk getting scolded by your mom later. It's really easy to make, so pay close attention and you'll understand how it works, okay? Basically, to shape the polyvinyl chloride, we're going to need to heat it. But how is it going to take the shape of the machete? Just like it did here in the shape of the knife. Look, you can see that it has exactly the slot here for the knife. So the knife stays firm when it's inside it, so that's the slot. Here, look at the shape of the blade. Why does this happen? Because of the foam. How is it going to work? We'll heat this on the stove until it's very soft, then place it in the center. Put the machete inside and put this on top and press it down. This pressing is what's going to shape it and make it exactly the shape of the machete. But for that, we're going to have to line the foam here using the cloth. Why? If we don't line it with fabric, the foam will melt because the polyvinyl chloride will be very hot. Ideally, this pipe should be much bigger than the machete. Why? Isn't it just to protect the blade? It needs to have a loop here that will attach to your belt. So ideally it should be like this. The machete starts down here. See, the pipe needs to extend further over here. Why? This piece that sticks out, we're going to cut it and make a fold so it can go through your belt, just like we did here. But here, I also didn't leave any extra pipe sticking out. So what did I do? I made this fold. And I fastened it using rivets. It also works with wire, it works with screws, it works in a bunch of different ways. So since this pipe here isn't long enough, I don't have a bigger pipe. I'll use this one so I don't need to buy another pipe. And I'm just going to leave a piece here sticking out, and I'll use this piece later to fasten it, just like I did with this blade. So that's how it works. Ideally, I should have left a piece sticking out here, but since I didn't, right? Let's do the same workaround. I'm going to make this loop using the hacksaw. I'll measure here since this side is straighter. I used the machete to measure and left a small piece sticking out at the bottom. And I need to make the sheath up to this point right here. From here up, from where I marked, I only need to leave it on one side. So I'm going to cut here up to the middle and then cut like this to remove half of the pipe. Music. Look, I've already cut it. Wait, this will be here and the machete will come up to here. It's at this point here. This will be the loop where I'll attach later, something that will hold the sheath on my belt. Now that we've made the cut, let's heat this to soften it. That's why I'm wearing gloves. Here, we always have to keep the pipe not too close to the fire and always keep turning it. Don't put this pipe close to the fire because if you do, it will burn. If it burns, you'll get some black spots here in the middle. That won't look good, right? So trust me, you have to keep it away and always keep switching sides. Soften the entire pipe, not just one spot. Music. Let's come here right away because before it cools down, right? I put the machete inside right in the spot. And I put it on top. I take a board and press it down. You really have to use a lot of force. Here. Now it has a slot. I push the machete in. Music, 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 music. It fits and won't come out anymore. This is very important for the sheaths. so you don't lose the knife, so it doesn't fall out when you're walking, and so it doesn't fall out if you fall with it. This is really important. Let's cut here to add some detail so it doesn't stay all squared, and try to sand it down. And who knows, maybe even paint it, then it'll really look nice. To do here, right now. When attaching it to the belt, it's important that this part goes above the handle, because if the handle goes over the belt, it will keep poking your ribs, and that's not very nice. So for that, I'm going to use this thing here. What am I going to do? I'm going to cut a strip here, then I'm going to heat it up and attach it here, so it will stick out a little bit above this height. Then I need to simulate the shape I want, what shape I want. I don't want this top part to be round, like the handle. So I'm going to put these 2 credit cards here to make it straight, and then here in the center. I need a space to pass the belt through. I'll make that space by putting this here, so I'm going to put this in here. And this thickness here is the thickness I want to keep, so that later I can pass a belt through in case I need to use a slightly thicker belt. I'll have enough space after I put it like this, since this part is soft, so that's when I'll press it. Now, the idea is to rivet here. Put 4 rivet points to hold it in place. Like I said, I didn't need to do all this work I'm doing here. I could have just left the pipe longer, but the problem is that the pipe I had at home wasn't big enough. So when you do it, remember to buy a pipe that's long enough to come all the way here and go back afterwards. Then you leave this whole piece, later you cut it here and make this job much easier. And our sheath is ready. Look, it's very firm, much stiffer and more resistant than leather sheath. You can attach it to your belt. And it has something that will protect you. And it's not expensive either. The Kydex is now ready to be painted.